She lives. Let us ride. We got a lot of water from that tropical storm Bertha. Oh goodness. Trying to get to the dirt pit to get the topsoil. It is flooded. Oh, good thing the road wasn't closed. That'd have been a long trip the whole way back around. So when I got to the mine where I get dirt from, the guy that usually runs the backhoe loader that loads my truck with topsoil was not there, so they brought up the mining excavator that they use down in the pit to dig all the sand out. So they came up with a Komatsu PC 490 to load my truck, and the operator in this thing is an excellent operator. You got to understand, the bucket on this excavator is literally bigger than the bed of my dump truck. So it's a massive piece of machinery that can move a lot of dirt. So he was very good about getting it all into the bed and not overloading the truck. So check it out. All right, guys, this is today's little project. So I had someone contact me about getting 2 loads of topsoil, 7 yards a piece. So and then they asked me if I wouldn't mind grading it in for them, doing a rough grade so their landscaper wouldn't have to do it by hand. So I said, yeah, no problem. So that's what we're going to do here today. And again, this is just a rough grade so the landscaper doesn't have to be out here with a wheelbarrow doing this by hand. So don't expect any master class in grading here. It's just going to be a rough grade. But as you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, but this backyard kind of dips down this way, and then it kind of swales in here because that goes back up, going back towards that lot. So this is just a big hole in here that fills in with water pretty bad, and it's kind of got some weird stuff going on. I'm guessing this was a tree here. Looks like an old tree stump that was ground down here. So there's like a big mound here, and then it dips right back over in there, and then kind of dips back here. So we're just kind of have to fill that in a little bit. I want to leave this. I'll go over here and show you. See where that kind of comes down and makes sort of like a ditch along this fence. So we're going to kind of leave that slope that way going towards the fence, and then kind of build that back this way with what we've got. So they said their landscaper told them they needed 14 yards, so that's what we got to work with. So let's hop in the skid steer and get this spread. All right, we got this graded out, and I think they're gonna sod over this, and it may need a little bit more. There's still a little bit. You see it kind of comes down, but it was pooling right back there, and this should help it not pool so bad. It is going to need a little bit of raking, but the homeowner is going to do that. But this old stump here, I couldn't really, it would have been nice to cut this down here, right here, and grade this out, this hump, but that's a big stump here that didn't get properly ground right here. And you can see there's a big old root there, big root there, big root there. So if I were to dig into this, it would have just made a mess, and you'd had roots everywhere, and that would have been a nightmare. So it's really just, I had to kind of grade over it a little bit as best I can. But that should help it from pooling up too bad in this area back here. And it just kind of needs to be raked and thinned. But the good thing about doing sod, you know, on this is, like, it doesn't actually have to be exactly perfect, because the sod's, you know, yay thick, and it's just going to lay down on top of it. So that should do it. So I'm going to get this thing loaded up, and we're on to the next.